What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Progressive Vibe Podcast. I am your host, Doddie. Today's date is May 21st, 2026, and I'm really glad that you guys are joining me today. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and keeping up with the show, keeping up with the updates. I try to keep you guys best informed as I can. I don't want to give you guys any just false or any type of nonsense type of mess. We don't do that here on this show. We dive in facts. We fact based around here. We don't dip in lies around here. So I appreciate you guys for coming and joining the show. You are the show. I appreciate you guys for just showing love to the show. I've recently had some negative comments in the chat. I'm only on my fourth video, so I feel like if I have negativity in the chat when I'm just speaking truth to power, then that's a them problem. But thank you for commenting on the show. I'm pretty sure that helps with the analytics. So I appreciate that. Continue to chime in and give me your opinion. If you don't agree, that's fine. If you do, that's awesome. I'm not here to debate people. I'm not here to debate nobody. I'm not trying to do a he said, she said type of show. I'm just not trying to do that. If you want to lead people in falsehoods, then do it on your program, do it on your platform. We have the freedom to express how we feel. And so by all means, go on your platform and talk how you want to talk and spread whatever type of false information that you want to spread. But over here, people come over here to hear the truth, to hear facts, and to hear real talk. I'm not sugarcoating anything, trying to persuade people into some type of agenda. I don't have any type of agenda. I don't have any type of narrative that I'm trying to portray to anybody. I'm just simply reading what's in front of me, what the administration is doing, and I'm responding to it. Now, all of my opinions are protected under the First Amendment in the Constitution, and that's freedom of speech. Okay, we deal in facts around here, as I said, but this is a opinion based show. So I will give you facts, and then I will elaborate on those facts to what people are saying, how people are feeling, and that's it. That's it. I'm a real person out here trying to make it just like everybody else. So I don't really have time to come on here and try to spread some type of false narrative that's going to get people mad and up in arms. Guess what? They already mad and up in arms, not because of what I'm saying. I'm not that important of a person on here, just keeping it real. The people in my life might think otherwise, but I'm just speaking in general terms. People who are watching me for the first time, they don't know me personally. You know what I mean? So they're just listening and trying to make their own decision on what I'm saying. And they look it up and determine if I'm right, if I'm wrong, and that's how it is. That's literally how it is. I don't care about trying to get in a back and forth with somebody who seems like their ideology is based on conspiracy theories or whatever the case may be. It's a vibe around here. We vibing. That's why the show is called The Progressive Vibe. We vibe around here. So if you want to be constructive, reach out. If you want to be in the comments and troll, do that. It's a free country. Well, I don't know how free we are. That's a different subject for a different day. So again, thank everybody for coming in here. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's in the description below. Also, I have a link tree and it goes to all of my other social platforms. I'm literally on everything social. I try to keep up. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Threads. I'm on X. I still call it Twitter, but I'm on X. I'm on Facebook. All of that. And if I'm in my link tree, I also have a cash out. If anybody's feeling generous and want to contribute to the show in like a small donation or anything like that, I will not be mad at that. And I am very appreciative. I'm appreciative of you guys, regardless of just checking me out and liking and subscribing, sharing, spreading the word. Because in essence, I'm not doing none of this to get paid. I do this because like it's literally something that eats me alive every day because I see people that I know personally and people who I don't know that's in my community who I absolutely want the best for. And I know how hard it is out here to just make it. And I want everybody to be able to live a decent quality of life the short time that we have on this earth. And I want policies that's going to target people's needs and wants. Isn't that what the government's supposed to be? I get so sick and tired of hearing the small government, big government crap. How about we just have a government that works for the everyday person? How about that? How about we have a government that does not needlessly worship billionaires, the elite in this country, who literally have it all already? When there's people out here, kids out here that's starving, homeless, kids out here got to pay for lunch while they're learning education because we want to make an elite, wealthy person more money. Instead of 15 yachts, they want 16, 17 yachts. It's literally never enough. And then when people want accountability and want a fair government, then the gaslighting starts. Well, we can't pay for that. Well, we can't do that. It's the Democrats' fault. It's this person's fault. It's that person's fault. Instead of just actually the people who got elected in office to take accountability, they blame it on other people instead of the people who are in power right now that can do something right now. So I'm just sick and tired of that type of narrative being perpetrated. And so, all that being said, let's get into today's content. I wanted to talk about how the GOP seems to be in full panic mode. Now, we just had some primaries Tuesday in certain states, Alabama, Kentucky, I think Missouri, it's some more. I don't have the list in front of me. And if you've seen, there's some particular races that stuck out, and it was the race in Kentucky and the race in Texas. And both of those Republican congressmen, I consider them to be a part of the OGOP. They lost. They lost to the MAGA Republicans. And I think that is causing conflict within the Republican Party because the Republicans aren't dumb. They see the trend in the numbers, and it's not looking good for them in the midterms. And they're already projected to lose the House of Representatives, and their numbers are starting to get even more slim in the Senate. So now the Senate, it seems, has come up for grabs. The Republicans dug this hole. Everything that's going on right now, they dug their own hole because instead of you not holding President Trump accountable on all of these moral things and stances that you so claim, all of a sudden now it's being challenged and you're quiet as a mouse. Don't say nothing. Just let them do whatever you want to do. But now all of a sudden elections are coming up and now your seat might be in jeopardy. Your power might be in jeopardy. And all of a sudden you want to have a come to Jesus moment. It's crazy how that works. So the United States Senate has officially shut down. The Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, held a meeting with Republicans, and he's saying he's canceling all further votes in the United States Senate until at least early June after the Memorial Day holiday. Also hearing the same thing is now taking place in the United States House of Representatives. House Majority Mike Johnson was supposed to have a meeting with President Trump that got canceled today. There seems to just be a lot of chaos in the government and a complete, honestly, lack of structure taking place. I don't really know how else to put it. they're expecting a shutdown in the House, like I said, as well, at least until I think early June 1st, again, after the Memorial Day holiday. And this was all on top of this week where they were supposed to pass a reconciliation bill that they wanted to fund ICE and fund Border Patrol. That's what President Trump has been wanting. And it seemed like that the Republicans were going to get this reconciliation bill passed. Well, it didn't happen that way. Because, well, before we get into more of that, also what tied into it was Trump demanding that $1 billion to the golden ballroom that he's trying to build. And the Senate parliamentarian rejected this and was like, no, like, you're not going to tie in a $1 billion fund to the reconciliation bill that was specifically supposed to be for ICE and Border Patrol. So it gets better. It actually don't. It gets worse, but it gets better. Then earlier today, President Trump created this $1.776 billion slush fund for the January 6th insurrectionists, where Trump then gave himself a waiver of all IRS audits about President Trump, the Trump organization, and as well as Trump family members. So again, he gave a waiver. The president told the IRS that you are not to audit me, my organizations, or my family members. Now, for anybody who's listening, can y'all just not do y'all taxes or not show the IRS y'all taxes? I'm going to just let y'all just sit on that for a moment. The president of the United States ordered the IRS to not audit him, his organizations, and his family members, while me and you have to keep playing by the rules. Because if we didn't, we'll be in jail. We don't have that luxury to just say, well, I don't want the IRS to see what I made this year, so I'm just not going to do my taxes. This is the corruption that should infuriate the entire country. The guy is trying to, him and his acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, they are trying to pay money to people who committed an insurrection against the United States of America. They're just trying to pay them money. Just trying to pay them money. And if anybody doesn't know about this $1.776 billion slush fund, the amount was the funding allocated to the U.S. Department of Justice's anti-weaponization fund as a part of a settlement in which President Trump dropped his $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. He had this $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS already pending. He dropped it and he decided to just say, okay, well, how about this right here? I'm going to get money from the U.S. Treasury Department, and I'm going to allocate this money to my political allies. And ain't a damn thing that you, IRS, and a damn thing y'all can do about it. Who go check me? The Republicans ain't. Or I'll put it like this, the Republicans haven't been checking him. But this might be a bridge too far. So before the Senate, as I told you guys, shut down today, like the Senate's no more. The session's over until, again, probably early June. So they're going on another paid vacation, and they're going to probably come back and do nothing again and go on another recess, as they say, where people like me and you, we have to work every damn day, barely get vacation time, quality time with our loved ones, because we're working literally every day to make ends meet, while we have people who are duly elected playing politics. And guess what? They go on vacation. They go home to their family, paid, probably go to the beach, while normal people around here canceling their trips because gas so fucking high. But then after they go home to their constituents, the constituents are going to be pissed at them because they have not been doing anything. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to play political football. They're going to say, well, the Biden administration, even though Biden's been out of fucking office for years at this point, it always comes back to the Biden administration. Yes, Biden administration could have done more, but at least they did something. At least they did something. At least they were somewhat productive with their time. Where you have this current Republican Party who controls all three branches of government. They control the House. They control the Senate. They control the executive branch. And there's nothing being done for the people's needs in this country. The kitchen table, the kitchen table issues that they like to talk about so much, where's that? Where's putting money in the Americans' pocket, the Americans' people pocket? What happened to groceries going down? We're going to make groceries affordable. Gas is going to be cheaper than the Biden administration, even though presidents technically don't control the gas prices. It's OPEC and, gas firms like that. But still, the needless war that has been created with Iran, this is a result of all this shit. And top economists are talking about the end of this year heading towards an iceberg, a recession. And it's imminent, I feel like. I don't think even if the Republicans and Trump decided to see the light and just change everything that they were doing, I think the damage has been done. The damage has been done because this was a part of the agenda the whole time. Project 2025. So senators were saying to Todd Blanche as he was demanding that President Trump needed that $1.776 billion slush fund. The Republicans were saying in the meeting pretty much like, we were supposed to pass the reconciliation bill, like on ICE and Border Patrol. Isn't that what the president wanted? No, I'm going to answer it. The answer is no. The president wants to enrich himself. That's what it seems like. The president wants to enrich himself, his family, his organizations, things that you're not supposed to do while you're president. It seems like he's doing that. As long as him and his family's okay, he don't give a damn about anything else in the country. He does not care, and the administration specifically choosing this $776 billion figure as a part of some damn patriotic nod to 1976, the year that that America was founded, is a bunch of bullshit. The fund was created to compensate individuals who claimed they were politically targeted or suffered lawfare or persecution under previous administrations, including the 1600 January 6th insurrectionist defendants who received clemency. They received clemency. And now they're trying to say that their life was altered and they suffered and they were political targets and all this bullshit, trying to claim this money where these people were actually charged in a court of law. They actually got charged in a court of law. They got convicted by a jury of people, and the president gave them clemency. And now the president is trying to reward his political allies. I don't really know what else you can't really draw anything else other than that. And what about of this country, their family members who are looking for reparations? Because that's all this is. This is all this is. But when Black people talk about their ancestors, how they were brutally beaten, killed, promised acres of land, all of a sudden now it's, well, Black people always trying to get a handout. How about you go work for it? And you got people who terrorized the United States of America on January 6th, and the president of the United States is appropriating money. He is taking money out of the Treasury Department and trying to allocate that money to those individuals. If that doesn't make, I don't even care if you are a Trump loving person. This should infuriate even you, because guess what? The taxpayers have to foot the fucking bill. The taxpayers, me and you, have to pay for this. That damn ballroom that Trump's trying to put inside the reconciliation bill. Guess what? Guess who has to pay that if that goes through? We do. Do y'all remember when he said that the money was going to be his money? It wasn't even going to be the taxpayers paying for the damn ballroom. All of a sudden now, the taxpayers have to foot the bill. No shit. But yet we look at these culture wars. We get sucked down the rabbit hole in these culture war debates, and we're missing the literal corruption right before our eyes. Things that make your life worse. No improvement on your life. No improvement on your finances. No improvement on your living conditions. No improvement on your wants and needs. But guess whose life's improving? The rich, the elite, the wealthy. And again, I'm not somebody who's sitting up there like, oh my God, rich people are a sin to this country. Hey, look, they're athletes, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're actresses, model. If you create a way of living and it has propelled you to financial blessings, that's good on you. What I'm specifically saying is corporations that are corrupting the government because they buy politicians to serve their needs. I'm talking about the ultra wealthy in this country who do not pay their fair share in taxes, having offshore accounts, hiding their money, when average people working 9 to 5 like me and you have to, again, play by the rules. We don't get tax breaks. And again, this should infuriate everyone. And before we wrap this up, I want to show a couple of clips that I have right here. Actually, I want to show this tweet right here from Laura Weiss. She is a congressional reporter on The Hill, and this is from Republican Senator Murkowski out of I think she's the senator out of Alaska. And this is what Laura Weiss said. There's a lot of frustration among actually, hold on. I think no, Senator Murkowski said this. Yeah. So there's a lot of frustration among Senate Republicans with administration over the fund and decision to settle and announce this week, right in the middle of the reconciliation push. Republicans still need a lot of questions answered from DOJ per a Senate GOP aide. So GOP aide said this first part right here. Senator Murkowski said, quote, the White House dropped a bomb in the middle of a pretty well planned out reconciliation to deliver on the President Trump's priorities. Senator Cassidy says the administration put itself in this spot. And again, News Doom just told Senate Republicans at lunch that they will be sent home amid impasse over how to restrict weaponization fund and reconciliation. Just a complete disaster for Republicans. And it is. It's just a complete disaster for them. And Trump's not going to stop because he doesn't care about the Republican Party. He cares about Trump. Doesn't care about MAGA. I mean, what I will say that he cares about with MAGA, he cares if you are following him, that you're backing him up, that you have his back with all the ludicrous, in my opinion, illegal shit that he does all the time. And just to leave you guys on a fun note, to really get y'all upset, we have Todd Blanche first explaining how this is such a good idea. This is such a good thing for this $1.776 billion slush fund that the president needs. And the people who have suffered during this needs to get paid. It's a bunch of bullshit. And after that follows up a couple of insurrectionists who were at the Capitol that day saying how they need this money from President Trump. So here we go.
I want you guys to pay attention to see if he's speaking for you when he says this.
Wouldn't the average taxpayer respond and say, okay, but why is that now my problem? Why do my tax dollars now need to go to people who are upset about their involvement in investigations?
Well, if you're just upset, you're not getting it done. On the other hand, I think if you said to the American taxpayer that there is a horrible wrong committed by your government, and now you can apply and you can have your lawyer's fees back. You can be compensated for what you lost financially. What American would say, oh my gosh, that's terrible? I mean, I very much disagree with the idea that the American taxpayer is indignant about the fact that a victim of weaponization, okay, a victim who suffered, whether it was legal fees, lost a job, had their life turned upside down in a way that was not appropriate. If it was appropriate, there should be no compensation. And that's why we have 5 commissioners who will take a look at it. But I do not think the American people have issues with that. To the contrary, I think they do want their tax dollars spent on things like that.
Todd Blanche thinks American taxpayers want their money spent on these criminals who have stupid grievances against the United States after they were caught up in their criminal activity. Hey, let me ask some of the taxpayers, are you guys jazzed up about paying these guys money out of our pockets, even though as they destroy our economy and jobs are lost? These victims that he keeps saying? Pause for a second. You guys remember all the time these Republicans keep talking about how black and brown folks keep calling themselves victims when they're not victims? How they can't wait to be victims and they're trying to get over on the American government and over on the people when they should just pull themselves up by their bootstraps and do the hard work. But at the same time, the acting attorney general, Trump's personal attorney, keeps talking about these criminals, these insurrectionists being victims. It's weird how victimhood always lands on white supremacists' heads, and how anybody who's backing Donald Trump is suddenly a victim all the time. They can't stop crying over their victimhood, and they can't wait to get payouts. Which, by the way, I remember when, since forever, there's been people who've been advocating for reparations to be paid to the original folks, the descendants of enslaved people who actually built the economic futures of this country, with no pay, with being genocided, with being murdered, with being separated and dismembered and sold like cattle. I remember the descendants of those people talking about how they should be given some kind of retribution for the atrocities that their government pulled off against them. And they were being told, stop with your victimhood, the country's come so far. But for some reason, these white supremacists can step forward and say, give me $20 million of some of that money from taxpayers because Donald Trump said we're victims. Get the fuck out of here. As a matter of fact, if you're not pissed off about this yet, I want you to listen to the guy, one of the guys who thinks he's gonna get paid over this because he's such a fucking victim.
It's like surreal to me. I mean, look how angry I look.
Right, that's the wrong one. I don't even want that one yet. I'm gonna start with this asshole. Hold on. I skipped by this guy. This one actually annoyed me more.
So the number I've put in is $30 million.
This has to come up. Here we go.
EVE Online is a vast universe.
So the number I've put in is $30 million. You know, 21.5 million is for the wrongful imprisonment.
People who took part in January 6 are hoping for big payouts.
We endured a lot. Our lives are still not the same. So I don't know what kind of price you can put on that.
Even before the DOJ announced its so-called anti-weaponization fund this week, how long were you in prison for?
Jail and prison, I combine those numbers, 1,075 days.
People like Brandon Fellows had already begun making claims for compensation. What's the reaction within the wider January 6 community to this fund?
Some people are whining and saying it's not enough, and we're not even hearing numbers yet.
Fellows was sentenced on felony and misdemeanor charges for entering the Capitol on January 6.
Yeah, we went in there.
Seen here in a red beard costume, Fellows spoke to CNN's Ellie Reeve during the riot.
But they were smoking a bunch of weed in there.
The charges against him were dismissed after a pardon from President Trump. Now Fellows expects compensation.
According to ChatGPT and Grok, and also my knowledge of January 6 cases, I'm in at least the 3 to 5% upper tier for how terrible and also how strong of a case I have.
Brandon Fellows wants $30 million of your money for attacking the Capitol, being seen on camera, talking about how they're smoking weed in the Capitol, and then how he is now a victim of this government that he tried to attack. I'm sorry, that he did attack, but failed to complete the mission that Donald Trump sent him on. And like I said before, this isn't like a one-off person thing. It's people like Mike Lindell, whatever that kid's name is, Fellows, and then this woman. You know what? It might even be worse. Because as they make their cases, they're doing this on TV, expecting people watching to go, you know what? I can see where they're coming from.
It's like surreal to me. I mean, look how angry I look.
Rachel Powell, a mom of 8 and a grandmother to 8, and 3 years under house arrest. We interviewed her before she began her prison sentence in 2024.
I don't deserve this, and my kids don't deserve it. Like, have we not been through enough?
She was released last year after being pardoned by Trump. What you say to people who are outraged and say people like you don't deserve a penny?
A lot of people don't agree with what happened on January 6th. But when you step back and you look at somebody like me, for example, my major felony had to be struck down by the Supreme Court. It's my crime that day of breaking a window. Technically, that's a misdemeanor charge. And yet I had 3 years of a house arrest, then having to endure everything I did through prison and getting a 5-year sentence on top of that. That's clearly weaponization.
Can you imagine going on TV, talking to someone about how you deserve some money, millions of dollars from the federal government because you broke into the federal government's building illegally, broke out a window, see yourself on camera and say, it's so surreal, CNN. Look at how angry I was there. It's surreal to see my crimes being captured on video. And then after it was captured on video, I was charged, convicted by a jury, sent off to house arrest. Can't you see how much we've already been through? And keep a straight face and then expect to get paid. Only in the most upside down country in the entire world can you say some shit like that and think that you can get away with it.
This is crazy. I mean, JR said it best. By the way, I watch JR Jackson a lot on YouTube. He has his own show. If y'all would like to check him out, it's called The Watch List. And he has great perspective, very well spoken, and just a genuine guy. I mean, don't sugarcoat nothing, tells it like it is. Like I said, just if you're looking for independent, factual, straight up media, like news media, JR is your guy. Like I said, I watch him a lot. But yeah, at the same time, like I wanted to say before we get out of here, just a few things. The country we living in. Like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? Like, these people have been convicted, charged by a jury. They have photo evidence, video evidence of them committing the acts of crimes. And they are trying to act like they are the ones that are being retaliated against. Like they are the ones that are being victimized. And it's just insanity. And you know in their hearts, you know they lying. Like they know they lying. But some people will do anything for a payday. Some people will do anything for money. And it's pretty sad and pathetic that it seems like the government only wants to reward people who are diehard loyalists to the president of the United States. That's not just. That's not a democracy, and it's not right. And hopefully the money for this ballroom won't get appropriated. This $1.776 billion slush fund won't get appropriated. I don't know if I said 1 million or $1 billion for the ballroom, but it's $1 billion. I don't know if I said million or not, but billions with a B. And guys, we should be outraged about this. We have to wake up to the corruption that's being played out right in front of our eyes. Like it is happening. And it shouldn't be my side versus your side. We are on the same team. I said it last episode. I'm going to say it again. We are on the same team. And sometimes it's people on that team that does not like that other people that maybe don't look like them, maybe don't sound like them, maybe don't practice the same religion as them. Maybe they don't want those type of people on the team. But guess what? It's more people like me and you that want just the best for our neighbor and understands that the bigger the umbrella is, the better the team's going to be. And if the team is getting rewarded, then the team is going to do better all together. It's just that simple. You can't reward a part of the team, just a part of the team. You can't give your quarterback all the grace when the offensive linemen are the ones who are protecting the quarterback. You got to give them offensive linemen's grace. You got to give the defense grace for stopping the other team. But right now we have a coach who's leading the team. He's not leading the team. He's doing everything to work against the team. But he has a few people on that team that he wants to reward. And I'm not trying to be on that team. We on team the people around here. And I feel like majority of the country is team people as well. So if you like today's content on the Progressive Vibe, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Again, my links are in the description below. I'm going to edit this video and get it posted for you guys. I want to thank everybody who came in today and listened, vibed out, heard me rant. Hope you like the content, the videos. We're going to have another one really, really soon. Hopefully I have some interviews in the works, hopefully potentially soon or sooner rather than later. It's still in the works, but I have had several people reach out to the program and wanted to come on and share different perspectives of certain topics, which is definitely something that I want to do. So I want you guys to look forward to that as well. Again, I'm your host, Doddie. This has been the Progressive Vibe Podcast. I want everybody to keep fighting a good fight, stay positive, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Peace.